Right, so check. Hello, check. All right, I think I'm live. Okay. Hi guys, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all of you. Whoever's watching the video, thank you for watching this one. First off, this video is being created to ensure that we reinforce quality. And fortunately for a lot of you guys, there's a lot of adjustment that we have to make. Um, this is because we want to streamline the process, we want to streamline the script, and we want everyone to follow the same chronological pattern that we would be now doing in making the calls. I divided the script in 5 parts. The first one is going to be opening and establishing funds. Second is pre-qualification. Um, the okay, no, this second is pre-qualification. Part 3. This should have been part 3. Okay, I'm going to save that. Save. Okay, part 3 is disclosure. This one is part 4. Part 4 is appointment setting. And then part 5 is a recap. Okay. And then part 6, actually part 6, okay. I didn't notice that. Part 6 is going to be the go-to script if applicable. Okay, now, why are we doing this? Unfortunately, we really don't get some quality comments coming from the buyers, which is not really good for the business. If we don't embrace the change that we are now going to be implementing, I assure you guys the success of the campaign will not be there. We cannot assure the longevity of the campaign. So I'm sorry, but everyone must be following the script that we just came up with. Okay. The first part, the opening, establishing funding needs. This is basically your opening. I know a lot of you guys are doing a very, very great intro and is kind of telling about a business loan, but the first thing you kind of establish is the callback time, which is before okay, but it's somehow already affecting the quality of the call. All right. The first part should always be establishing if they need the funds so that we don't waste each other's time. I know the technique that you're kind of doing when you try to set up a callback time right away, but that should not be the case. We will be following the script in a chronological pattern, and we only will be following 2 type of script. Okay? Either, hi, this is David from Easy Financing, and I wanted to give you a call because you've inquired about a business loan, and I wanted to see if you're able to get all the money that you needed for the business. Okay? That's the first one. Or you may want to use this one. Hi, this is David from Easy Financing. I wanted to give you a call because few of our lenders are interested in speaking with you and wants to give you an offer. Are you still in need of funds? That's the same thing as a lot of agents right now are doing, establishing a callback, but there's a question right there. Are you still in need of funds? This is the most bold and honest way that we could establish if they need funds. All right? Now, if they are interested, we proceed to part number 2. Part 2 is pre-qualification. Okay? We've done this a lot of times. We just want to talk in depth and be familiar on how and why they all should be asked. Okay? The first one, how much money do you need? That's the first question. Note, the amount must be coming from the prospect, not the agent. I know a lot of you guys have files or list that has the amount of how much a prospect needs. Do not assume how much they need. Okay, first things first, we want to stop assuming anymore. Okay? Let's stop assuming. Okay? All right. So again, the amount must be coming from the agent, not the prospect. No, I'm sorry. Not the. Okay, the funds. The amount should be coming from the prospect, not the agent. Okay. So how much money do you need? Then listen. Not like. So how much money do you need? You need 50,000, right? No, not like that. Okay? So, how much money do you need? Second question, why do you need the money? Again, we've been talking about this a lot of times already, and this is the money question. This is where we should be able to build rapport, establish a connection, and this is where we get detailed. Okay? Now, this is where we should gauge if the borrower is really interested. Why do you need the money? We should ask this in an open-ended manner. Why do you need the money? All right? Let them open up. Ask like, tell me more about it. What equipments will you be purchasing? If they say expansion, will you be hiring more people? Tell me more about it so we could get you the loan that you need. We could get you the right loan for your business. And from there on, listen. Okay? Depending on what they respond, ask a logical question, okay? Get detailed on this part. Attempt on getting more information, okay? Next, question number 3. How long have you been the business owner? This is a no-brainer. You should be asking this. Next, what is the name of your business? We follow up that question. It should be heard on the recording that we ask for the name of the business, because sometimes the name of the business on the list is not the name of their business anymore, and it's been happening. Okay, now the third follow-up question, the next follow-up question for question number 3 is, I want to make sure that this business is still running, right? Okay, because sometimes, regardless if they may have a business name on your list, the business does not exist anymore. Okay, so we have to make sure that they still have an active business running. Okay, next. Question number 4. Do you have an active business bank account? Okay, do you have an active business bank account? If they say no, you go straight to, you all know this, we go straight to the credit score and pre-qualify them by credit score. Now, if they do, follow-up question, have you been depositing money into that account over the last 4 months? There's a lot of agents who kind of are missing this part. We have to make sure this is being asked, okay? They should be depositing over the last 4 months, but there are some exceptions. Some business owners do deposit in a quarterly, biannual basis. That's okay. So as long as they suffice an average of $10,000, that's okay. It's a case-to-case basis, but most of them, they do deposit over the last 4 months. Next question. What is your average monthly deposit? Okay. Now, again, everyone knows this. It should be at least $10,000. Now, these questions must be heard on the recordings, including the follow-up question, have you been depositing money into that account over the last 4 months? And then average deposit. Okay. Next. What is your credit score? It should be at least, question number 5, what is your credit score? It should be at least 650. Now, if prospect does not know his or her credit score, we must still try to obtain a range. Like, could you give me like a range? If they still don't know their credit score, no credit score, we could not submit a lead. Okay. Next, question number 6. Do you need the money right away? They should say yes to this. Because if not, we have to just follow up a callback. We could not submit a lead yet. Note, we do not ask the 6 weeks questions anymore. They should need the funds right away. Question number 7. Do you have any equity or property? It could be any real estate property like building, a residential, commercial property, a land, and a separate question should be asked, has it been at least 50% paid off? Those should be asked separately, okay? Next, do you have any existing loan? Do you have any existing loan? Okay, do you have any existing loan? Yeah. And we know this already. If they have, we ask how many are your loans and how much. Next, are you already working with a lender or a bank? If yes, would you be willing to another offer? There's another follow-up that we just created on question number 9. Have you had difficulty in getting approved within the last 30 days? The reason for putting that is there's a specific buyer who wants us to ask that question, and that's the new question that we are going to be putting in our script. It's already included in the congratulations template that later on I'll show you guys. Follow-up question number 9. This is one of the most important questions because we've been sending a lot of leads that has already been funded. We want to establish that they have not gotten the funds yet, okay? Follow-up question number 9. I just want to make sure that you have not been funded yet, right? They should not have the funds yet, okay? Now, question number 10. This is very basic. Just for documentation purposes, you're not dealing with any bankruptcy as of the moment, right? You may want to ask the question negatively that you're not dealing with bankruptcy. So it's going to sound positive to them. You're not dealing with bankruptcy as of the moment, right? Just for documentation purposes. Because some of them may be thrown off with a question, but you guys know how to ask this already. Next, as soon as we're done with part number 2, pre-qualifying the prospect, part number 3, the disclosure. Okay? Just for us to be uniform, let's use this disclosure verbatim. Verbatim. Okay? Now that I've verified all of the information here, I will have a few lenders call you. So you're going to get few calls from few of our lenders in our network. They may have different options for you. So please listen to each one of them and make your choice based on what's best for your business. Does that sound good to you? You stop and listen. They should be able to say yes. Okay? Now, next, if they say yes to the disclosure, 4th part, the appointment setting. Okay? So, again, on this part, we should be able to mention the date today just to add integrity to the call. So, today is, let's say, July 11. The earliest we could give you a call is on July 13. Will you be available? If they say yes, then go ahead and ask for the time and date. Well, on this part, we ask for the time and date that they'd be available. We ask, what time zone are you in? Okay, because sometimes we just assume by getting their, their area code and their phone number, and then we assume on which time zone they're in. No, we proactively ask that on the call, and then we attempt to get another phone number. Is there any other number we can reach you at? We have been sending leads to the buyer, and they get a very, very low contact ratio. So if their first phone number does not work, we at least have an alternate phone number. It is now required that we get or attempt to get at least a mobile phone number, a company phone number on the call. Next, what is your email address? We should have that. We should attempt to get an email address as well. So again, attempt to obtain an alternate phone number to increase the contact rate of our buyers. Okay? Next, recap. We have to basically recap some basic information. But before anything else, I'll cut this video. I'll talk about the recap because I'm only allowed like a couple of minutes for one video. I'll cut this one and I'll talk about recap in a few. Thanks, guys.